Good morning, afternoon, and evening, climbers. Welcome back to the Merapi podcast, where we maximize energy, rise above, persist, and inspire in the world of health, exercise, and sports. If you're a first-time climber, don't worry. I'm Evita, your host and guide, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Well, today's episode might be a great starting off point, especially for many youngins who watch the show, as we have 4 special guests who got us a first look into the PE class of St. Ursula High School and are gonna tell us about it. Please, welcome in the world-renowned basketball player, Mika. A data analyst from the University of Indonesia, Miss Alin. And an orthopedic doctor, Dr. Stephanie. And last but not least, our brilliant content creator, Grace. Hello! Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Now, let's get right into it. So, Miss Mika, since you're our resident athlete, I feel it's most befitting if you start us on this hike. Could you share with us what exactly you did with a student of St. Ursula High School?
Physical education, or PE, has been a staple of school life for as long as we can remember, and for a good reason. It keeps us active, builds discipline, and challenges our physical limits. St. Ursula High School is no exception. Throughout our time there, we saw the students take on a variety of exercises designed to enhance cardiovascular endurance, coordination, and overall strength. These exercises consisted of the 400-meter run, sit-ups, and skipping.
Wow, that sounds intense. I wish I was there to participate with you guys. But what do you think the students can take away from the process? Any personal anecdotes you would like to share?
Well, lucky for you, Evita, I can paint you and our climbers at home a picture. It was a sunny day when the students took their first PE test, the 400-meter run, at the school's parking lot where the smooth pavement provided a stable surface for running. Some students took an early lead by sprinting during the first 2 laps, while others paced themselves more strategically, conserving energy for a final push. But in the end, each student tried their best, evident by almost all of them laying down on the ground and out of breath after the test. One student told me, "I think I felt my lungs leave my body. I've never ran so fast in my life," as they laid on the ground heaving. While some other reports, it wasn't too bad, but my regular exercise and morning jogs did help me train. The second test took place in the school gymnasium, where students perform sit-ups, backups, and skipping in rapid succession. For sit-ups and backups, they lay on mattresses, which provided much-needed comfort compared to the hard gymnasium floor. Each student was paired with a partner to count repetitions and keep track of scores. While most students performed well, one particular pair stood out due to their efficient technique. They maintained a steady rhythm, engaged their core properly, and ensured full range of motion after each repetition, maximizing their performance. This approach allowed them to fully benefit from the exercises. Sit-ups strengthen abdominal muscles, backups provide improved lower back stability, and skipping enhance cardiovascular endurance and coordination.
Wow, I never liked PE during my school years, but now I wish I was able to witness it. Now, let's move on to interesting statistical analysis of students' performance at St. Ursula High School. Miss Alin, as a data analyst, can you break down the results for us?
Absolutely. We got the data from a PE teacher, and we analyzed the data of 36 students, ranging from 62 to 100 with a total range of 34. Using Sturge's formula, we grouped the data into 7 class intervals, each with a class width of 6 points. With this, we can create a histogram to visualize the distribution and a frequency polygon to track performance trends over different ranges. It's just like mapping the elevation changes of a hiking trail. These graphs help us see which fitness peaks most students reach and where some may need a little extra climb.
Wow, that's really fascinating. Speaking of peaks and a valley, what do the mean, median, and mode scores reveal about the student performance? And how does the standard deviation help us understand these fitness elevation changes?
Well, using this table and the coded calculation method, we can analyze the central tendency and variability of the sit-up scores. The mean is 90, representing the average number of sit-ups completed by the students. The median is 90, indicating that half of the students perform above and half below this value, showing a balanced distribution. The mode, which is 91.5, suggests that a notable number of students completed sit-ups around this number. Clearly, some overachievers in a bunch. Moving on to the spread of the data. The variance is 66.75, meaning that individual performance showed moderate variation from the mean. The standard deviation, calculated as 8.17, further illustrate the dispersion of scores. A lower standard deviation would indicate that most of the students have performed similarly, but with 8.17, we see a reasonable range of performance, some students exceeding expectation, while others needing more improvement. This analysis helped teachers tailor training programs, ensuring that students at all fitness level continue to develop and excel.
Well, they say a journey of 1,000 miles begin with a step. But what if that step could also strengthen your bone? Well, luckily, the doctor is in the house. What do you think is the best exercise for our bones to avoid osteoporosis?
Well, in today's technologically driven world, where sedentary habits are becoming increasingly common, the importance of physical activity to promote bone health must not be understated. Running, a high-impact weight-bearing exercise, is known to build stronger bones and may significantly reduce the risk of osteoporosis. This is a condition where the bone density becomes low and also causes your bones to become brittle and fragile. For example, this is a 3D rendition of a healthy bone. Meanwhile, this is a 3D rendition of an osteoporosis bone where you can see there are a lot more holes and it's less dense. By 2010, the incidence of osteoporotic fractures worldwide was recorded to be 6.7 annually among older generations, and this is going to continue to get worse for us younger generations unless we try to do something about it. Therefore, running should be considered an essential part of our fitness because it combats the silent and debilitating disease that is osteoporosis.
That's a strong case, quite literally. But every climber needs solid ground to stand on it. Is there any scientific evidence to back this up?
Well, to begin with, running actively promotes new bone formations. Bones, as dynamic tissues, are constantly remodeled by the actions of osteoblasts and osteoclasts. The mechanical load of the foot strikes when we run stimulates osteoblast activity, increasing the bone density in weight-bearing areas like the legs, the hips, and also the spine. The process helps counteract age-related bone loss, which typically begin in your late third decades. Additionally, impact stress from running triggers the release of bone growth factors and that further enhance bone formation. Not to mention, improved circulation during running ensures that bones are adequately supplied with essential nutrients like calcium and phosphorus, which are critical for mineralization and repair. And secondly, in addition to being able to do that, running serves as an effective preventive measure against osteoporosis by strengthening your bones and reducing the risk of fractures. Bone mineral density, or BMD, is a key indicator of bone strength, significantly improves with consistent running. Studies using DXA scans show that individuals with higher BMD are less likely to experience fractures. For example, those who incorporate regular running into their exercise routines can maintain a healthier BMD levels and potentially reduce their fracture risk by up to 50%. Furthermore, running not only enhances bone density, but also improves balance, coordination, and muscle strength, all of which are essential to preventing falls, which is the main leading cause of osteoporotic fractures. Over time, these benefits contribute to a long-term skeletal health, reducing the likelihood of age-related bone deterioration and mobility issues. Well, in conclusion, osteoporosis, often called the silent disease, poses a major threat to bone health, especially with age. However, regular running can strengthen bones, improve bone density, and reduce fracture risk due to its dynamic impact on skeletal health. Do not let modern convenience overshadow the importance of physical ability. Please start running today and safeguard your bones and prevent osteoporosis.
I see. It's unbelievable how much simple exercise such as running can impact the health of our bones. Well, I'm so glad the students are taught from this from a young age. Well, now it's time for our question of the day segment, where we take a question from one of our fellow climbers at St. Ursula, Jakarta. Today's question is, what techniques help create a visually compelling scene in a film and theater? Well, Grace, would you take this away?
Certainly, we have focused on implementing the mise en scene arrangement. The mise en scene arrangement refers to the arrangement of everything that appears in one frame, which contribute to the overall atmosphere, mood, and narrative of the scene. We focused on 5 main elements, being design, acting and blocking, recording, lighting, and costume design.
Could you elaborate on those 5 points?
Sure thing. First, set design, where we focused on developing the concept and design of this podcast. Having a very sporty and energetic topic, we pictured it as a rewarding and challenging journey for climbers to reach a certain goal, which is to set on the high top of a mountain. Therefore, we chose Merapi as the title of our podcast. From it being chosen by words, maximize energy, rise above, persist, and inspire. We've also added supporting props, which we can see around this podcast setting. First being a 3D design of a bone for Dr. Stephanie that shows a healthy bone on one side and the other side of an osteoporotic bone. Second, we made a 2D cardboard cutout of a mountain and a podcast logo that correlates with our title, Merapi, with the hiking theme. And there's also common fitness tools surrounded around the area, such as basketball, water bottles, and shoes that shows the correlation with our sporty topic. We also have this vibrant background to show really high attention and vibrant theme. Next is acting and blocking, where we adjust our characters' personality based on their persona. For example, where Evita in the beginning, as the moderator, she added some phrases saying like a journey begins with a single step. We wanted to relate with the audience and wanted to be a bit more reliable, a bit more down to earth with everyone. And the next are the recording of the podcast, where we adjust the lighting with our room that faces the sunlight to maximize the lighting. And we also implemented the eye level angle to make sure that our audience feel like they're also in the room with us. We wanted to make a comforting environment for them so they also feel like they actively participate in our discussion. Alright, next is our costumes, which makes our characters stick out. First, we can see Mika using a basketball jersey representing an athlete. Next, there's Stephanie as an orthopedic doctor wearing a white coat, and Alin using a formal wear representing a data analyst. We can also see Efit using a full school uniform, and me myself as a content director using a casual outfit.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Just like every great climb relies on careful planning, strong execution, and a clear vision. From analyzing athletic performance to breaking down cinematic techniques, we've explored how structure and strategy shape both movement and meaning. Keep pushing your limits, keep asking great questions, and as always, enjoy the journey to the summit. Until next time, keep climbing! Goodbye, everyone!
Bye.